Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Housing for Good. I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Chris.
And so, Chris, do you have
Yes.
any news for us today?
You know, I was supposed to prepare some news, and Joey's been sending me emails all week. So, Joey, what was the news I was supposed to talk about?
You're supposed to talk about the housing situations of the affordable housing and what was happening with the mobile homes in Florida.
Oh, yeah, I don't have it with me, but basically, okay, yes. So housing continues to be out there in the forefront. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, the president has even talked about, because we talked about this last week, where the president is now talking about not allowing large corporations to come in and buy these huge swaths of homes. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know in a free market exactly how you do that, how you put together policies that are fair. You know, there are people who are individuals who own a lot of property, and they're good landlords. You know, not everybody is a slumlord. So we have some great landlords out there. So I just don't know how you do that with a free market. But I am happy to see that housing continues to be at the forefront. Mm-hmm. And that people are understanding there's a lot of causes to this homelessness. And people, you know, like my son, when he got out of college, I think it took about a year before he could find something that was reasonable in his price range that he could afford for his first home. And, you know, we tried to put him in something that was that he could afford, that he could maintain, that he could learn how to be a homeowner. Mm-hmm. That was really important for us. So anyway, so that's the news. I'm just really excited. And this is something, it's a national issue. It's an international issue. I mean, it's not just in Kansas, but it's across the nation and across the world. So hopefully keep listening, and together we'll figure out some answers. We'll follow policy, and we'll figure out what's going on.
Okay. And another piece of news we have is Brush Up Mac. Mm-hmm. So Kim Krupper, our new case manager, has been helping get homeowner letters ready to be mailed out. And then also letters, bulletins will be sent to the churches with the volunteer and homeowner application. And so if you're a homeowner listening, you can pick up a application at the Chamber of Commerce or Senior Center, or you can go to McPhersonHousingCoalition.org, and there is a button there under Brush Up Mac. Fill that out. I get it as an email, and then we'll get you signed up for Brush Up Mac. So
yay! And if you live anywhere in McPherson County, you are eligible.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
It's good if we can have a team from that community. So if you're somewhere and you've never been participated before, please get a hold of us so we can help partner with that and get that done. I mean, we've kept a lot of our seniors in their homes. Do we have somebody over 100 that's still living in their own home?
I know. That's absolutely crazy. But yes, her kids are very involved in her being able to be in her home. And we have helped her consistent years. So
forever. When we started Brush Up Mac, we were helping her. I have a picture of her. My aunt just thought that was the coolest thing ever. So anyways, okay, well, we got a guest today.
I know we do. I'm excited about this one.
I'm excited too.
So we love it when we have people come talk to us from organizations or agencies that are doing the work. But today we get to be joined with Olivia Fetsch. Olivia is a volunteer and a community member. So, Olivia, would you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are. And
Sure. I'm Olivia Fetsch. I live in McPherson. My husband is a surgeon at McPherson Hospital, and I have two boys, Owen and Dylan. Owen is a sophomore at K-State, and Dylan is a junior at McPherson High School.
And isn't he going to graduate early? Did I see something about that?
Yeah.
Man.
He's
smart kids.
That's
we got very lucky. They're both very intelligent.
Do they take after their mom or their dad?
Oh gosh, probably their dad.
That's funny.
Okay, right. Well, so you are an active volunteer and community member. Tell us how you first got involved in volunteering.
Well, I think the first time I volunteered in McPherson, I had been reading the paper, and there was an article in there that said they were starting a summer lunch program. The United Way and the McPherson Community Foundation were collaborating, and they just needed people to come and help volunteer and deliver the food.
She's like everywhere. Have you ever noticed that?
I have
She's
noticed that.
everywhere. I mean,
Oh, no.
we're doing our little thing, but she's over here and involved with housing and food and Christmas and
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say that is because she's a very informed community member.
well, that's true.
You know, how many times do you hear people say, well, I didn't know that was going on? Okay, well, people are trying to put the information out there. So pay attention
Right.
and then be
Yeah.
involved like Olivia. So,
well, I think she also has a big heart.
well, I would agree with that.
I could tell a story, and I couldn't decide whether I should tell this story. It's not a bad story, but so years ago, her and I were at an event. I won't tell you too much because then people will say, oh. But anyway, so we were at an event, and somebody said at the event, well, I took my kids through the trailer park so they can understand how they need to go to college. And I was horrified.
Oh, my gosh.
This one over here just handled it and said, hey, Chris, aren't we getting ready to do Brush Up Mac? And totally changed the whole environment just by that one comment. I will never forget it. And I don't know if you remember when that
don't know.
happened.
I
I'll tell
don't-
you about it later. So I
Okay.
don't want to call anybody out since we live in a pretty small town.
Yeah.
But it was just amazing how she handled it. It wasn't aggressive. It wasn't mean. But she really made them think about what they were saying. Because I was horrified. I'm just sitting there with my mouth open and saying, how do I, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so many times people say things without even meaning
Yeah.
to. So the school lunches that you helped with, was that during COVID?
No, this was back in probably 2010. They did the summer lunch program.
Okay.
And at that time, the United Way was involved. Brenda Sales was the director at the time. And we would purchase the food at Dillon's, pick it up, and then we would bring in groups to pack the food. And I think we had about 10 different routes, so we needed drivers to do the routes. And that's what I initially did. I was a driver with my good friend Heather, and we would deliver the food. And one of the things that we thought would be beneficial as well was to buy gallons of milk. And so we did that on our own, and just wanted, because we knew we had little kids, and like, hey, everybody needs milk. So that was something we also did, and
Okay.
it was really rewarding. And then I think the next year, Becky Goss said, hey, we need somebody to be in charge. Will you be in charge? And
Yeah.
so Heather and I ran that program for several years, I think.
Okay.
I can't remember. It's been a while.
So did you go to their house? Is that how you did? Did you drop it off at the house? I don't really remember this.
Yes.
But,
Yeah, we would.
so you actually went to their home and dropped off the food.
We did, yeah. We would pack the food. We would have different groups come in, like the Ulster Project at the time. They would come and help us, and sororities and other people, just friends. Tom Frankenfield and Judy Casey. That's how I got to know them, and I know they were really involved in the community as well for many years.
I have to say, we have a really cool community.
We do.
People are really willing, most people are really willing to step up and help when there's a need. So what keeps you doing this? Is it the good feeling that you just see the need? What makes you continue to do it?
I think it's a combination of things. Definitely, it makes you feel good when you're making a difference in someone's life. And sometimes it's just something small, like listening to them, or just providing something that you think is always there. Some people don't have food in their refrigerator when they open the door, and I think, providing the need, making the social connections is also important to me. You meet all kinds of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there a need in the community that stood out to you most, maybe that surprised you the most?
Well, besides housing, I think food is a big need here. There's a lot of people that aren't receiving the proper nutrition that they need, and they're making choices like, do I pay the rent? Do I get my car fixed? And so they're not necessarily getting enough food for their family, or the parent is going hungry so their kids can eat. I think it's like 49% of our students in McPherson get free or reduced lunches. So I think it is an issue for sure.
Yeah.
It's always surprising because our medium income is so high. And when I talk to people, I'm like, there's a big disparity between the haves and the haves not, even though our medium income is so high.
Definitely.
Which makes it, to me, makes it more difficult because we don't always get the resources. They're like, well, McPherson doesn't need help. They got this high, medium income.
Yes.
What do we need to help them for? So I think people don't understand. Is there a story that you can think of that really touched you that you went when you went out and volunteered and helped somebody? Or because I don't know if you work with people individually or if you're kind of in the background managing things.
I have lots of stories. I think one of the stories that really touched me at the beginning with the summer lunch program is when we brought the milk. And I remember the kids were so excited to get milk. And it was like Christmas to them. Like, oh my gosh, you brought me milk. Mm-hmm. And I know there were some times when we wouldn't leave the milk. Like we could leave the food on the porch because it was, stuff that could be okay outside. But we wouldn't leave the milk, and sometimes we'd go to a neighbor. I remember an older man sitting on his porch, and I said, hey, this family wasn't home. Would you like this milk? And I remember he got so excited about the milk, too. And so that was just really touching and really showed me that you could make someone's life happy just by giving them some milk. And so that's always been something that stuck with me.
So what do you think people misunderstand about the challenges that our community faces?
Chris touched on it. People think McPherson is really wealthy. Mm-hmm. I hear that all the time still. Like, we don't have homeless people. People are doing fine. I think that's a big misunderstanding still all these years later. So I think I encourage people to get out of their comfort zones. We kind of stay in our own neighborhoods at times. And I encourage you to reach out to people that you may not normally reach out to. Mm-hmm. And you can see different sides of McPherson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would echo what she said, that people don't think we have any homeless here. Well, we built that non-congregate emergency shelter. There are 9 of those 2-bedroom houses that we use for homeless. Mm-hmm. They are constantly full. And when people call in and want to know about getting somebody into one, I'm like, okay, well, I'll take their information and put it on our waiting list. Oh, you have a waiting list? They're full? Yeah, they are always full because we focus first on families with kids, but we also look at our seniors. We're hearing more and more from seniors. And then thirdly, we'll focus on individuals. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they're always full.
Yeah, it's a big problem. Several years ago, I had heard about a lady living under or kind of over by Sunflower Bank. She was living in the parking garage. Mm-hmm. And it was the winter where it was negative wind chill. Mm-hmm. And I went over there to find her. And she was laying there on cardboard boxes, and she had all kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you don't know me. I'm sorry if you're scared or anything, but I want to help you. Would you be willing to go with me, and I'll put you up in a hotel? Mm-hmm. And we were able to do that. I reached out to a group of friends. Hey, there's this lady living on the street. Would you want to help her? And they all chipped in money. Mm-hmm. But the amazing thing was when I did take her to the hotel, I just picked one that I thought would be good. And when I walked into the door, the front desk clerk knew her. Oh. And he ended up giving me his employee discount, and he knew her background. Okay. Kind of watched out for her. Friends went and brought her food every day. And I haven't seen her in years, but last time I saw her, she was walking somewhere with a suitcase. Oh, wow. And I have hopes that she has moved on and is doing well. But but it was just, I was like, how do you, it was negative wind chill, and people are used to Jenny, they see her. But there's a lot more out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's very hidden, but there is a lot of people out there that are struggling and living in their cars. And we've just rescued somebody recently that was living in their car, had been for, a year? Mm-hmm. She'd been there for about a year, and I think we finally were able to help stabilize the situation because, that's good when you put them in a hotel and you can at least keep them warm, but trying to get them stable, That is really the long-term work, and that's really what we all try to do, is try to get that family stabilized so that now they're independent, and we can make sure if they're seniors, they're getting Social Security or whatever assistance that they need. So I'm so glad that you did that. I've done that a couple times myself. It's like I would just give it all everything I have away.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, stop.
That's how. Yeah, it's the people that told me knew that she was there, but they didn't feel comfortable. But for me, sometimes I just dive in head first, and then think about the consequences later. But it's worked out. I couldn't have slept knowing she was out there.
Yeah. So what do you see as opportunities in our community? What are we missing? Are there other things that we could be doing, or volunteer opportunities, or what are we missing out there, do you think? Because there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, I think we're making good progress. You're doing amazing work. We have a lot of groups that are helping with the food. I know there's a group that is wanting to possibly open a soup kitchen, or a place that consistently provides meals. They're working on securing funding and kind of working towards that maybe in the next 5 years. I can't think of anything where we're lacking right now, and maybe I'm just not educated enough to know. You maybe know better than I do.
Well, I've always said that once you know more, then you're expected to do more. We don't just get to sit back and do nothing.
Right.
You are expected to act on what you have learned, especially if you know where there's help. So, so how do you stay encouraged when the work so often can feel so challenging and so overwhelming?
I think just knowing that you're making a difference. And I have a lot of friends that help me. It's never me on my own. So that's always kept me up. Like, I know these people depend on me, and my friends are going to be there with me. So that really keeps up my spirits.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, we have our brand new case manager sitting here listening in on our conversation. She's trying to learn everything she can. And I have told her more than once, in just this week alone that she's worked with me, that we can't fix it. We're just called to do every day what we can. And then I have a strong faith. And so I believe that when I talk to God, He listens to me and will provide what I don't know about, or what I don't know what to do with something. He'll provide an answer. Do you find that yourself?
Yes. Yeah. I feel like this is my purpose. Like, I'm just one person, but I can get people together, and He's using me in that way. I wouldn't call myself like an outgoing person or someone that is a natural born leader, but I can rally the troops, I guess, and the volunteers.
Yeah, she does a great job of rallying the troops. Better than me, for sure. I have to beg people to come and help me. She just like, hello, come and help me, and 1,000 people show up.
Yeah, I've been very lucky.
Yeah, so if someone out there wants to volunteer, either in our community, across Kansas, across the country, anywhere they are, how do they do it? How do they get started? Do you have any advice on how somebody can start to get involved like you did?
I think just pay attention, read the news, follow social media. There's always opportunities. I know there's the United Way has things on their website. I believe the Chamber maybe has some volunteer opportunities. And you don't have to make a big commitment. It could be an hour here and there. I know hospice is looking for volunteers just to sit with people. And I think, that anybody could do that, sit and listen, or just be there. So I think there are always opportunities. Just keep your eyes open.
Yeah. And one thing about volunteering is you don't have to give a lot of time.
Right.
You don't have to have a lot of money. Sometimes just, being there, giving an hour a week makes a difference in the work that an agency is doing. Like you said, for somebody with hospice, they're just wanting somebody to sit there so this person, if they open their eyes, they're not alone. So
what qualities or skills do you think somebody needs to be a volunteer? Do they even have to have skills? Can you just have the willingness to say, I want to help?
Yes, I think willingness is a big thing. I think you need to be good at communicating, listening. Work ethic is important. I think those are
and
compassion.
Okay. And I like the idea that, like, in our family, we all volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
Every single member of my family, my kids, my grandkids, have all been part of volunteering. My son and his family live in Oklahoma, and they volunteer at not a soup kitchen, at a food pantry.
Mm-hmm.
Every week they go in and they help separate food, and it's really important that, for me, that I pass that down, because I feel like our family has been very blessed, not that we haven't worked really hard to get where we're at, but we feel like it's really important then to reach back and pull people forward. And I think that we don't talk about that enough, is teaching our own children how to be good volunteers and how to continue that, even when their life's really busy and crazy.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, I think with everything that I've ever done, I make sure my kids are involved.
Mm-hmm.
Meals on Wheels, or the Christmas food baskets, or even summer lunch program. They came and helped pack food, and it's very important. And I think the person that inspired me the most, or the people that inspired me most in my life, were my grandparents. They were missionaries for 33 years, so they gave their whole life to making other people's lives better. So
Oh, wow.
it's just a family tradition.
Yeah, that's so cool.
That's awesome. I know one thing, talking about having your children or grandchildren, because we've tried to include our granddaughters in volunteering. And so one thing that we helped with for years was delivering furniture to people that need it but can't afford it. And we're part of a ministry that does that. And I can remember taking things into a mobile home and telling my granddaughter, Hannah, now, you may know somebody that lives here, and you are not in any way to make fun
Right.
or talk about the situation that you see with other people. This is a very private opportunity for us to help somebody that's in a very rough situation. And so I think it's important to make sure, because people do think McPherson is so wealthy,
Right.
that when your kids, when you are able to provide for them, when they see people that are in need and have a real challenge, that they understand that there's a part of that we keep to ourselves.
Right.
We keep it private.
Yes.
Okay, so how has the community shaped you, and how do you hope to shape it in the future?
Oh, I think I was thinking McPherson kind of raised me,
Okay.
helped me to, like I said, be somewhat of a leader, just to bring people together and put out information too. That I post a lot on the community page, just because people always tell me, I did not know that was happening until you put it out there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think she has more friends on Facebook than I do. I thought she's like a fan favorite on one of them.
Oh.
Look, it's Olivia, the fan favorite.
Oh no. Yeah, I just keep doing it because
No, it's good.
I would, yeah. Like, I want to know this, so I'm
Yeah.
surely someone else wants to know this information. So
Okay, so what gives you hope about the future of our community specifically? Do you really feel good about the direction that we're taking and the way people are stepping up, or?
I do. I do feel good about the direction we're heading. I feel like there's a lot of people that want to do good in our community and want to volunteer and be a part of the process of making things better. Sometimes they just need to know that the opportunities are there, and they're there in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And people will step up. If you're on social media, you will see the negativity and
Oh, yeah.
the horrible comments and things like it. But there's so many good people in our community,
Yeah.
and they're doing a lot of good things.
Yeah, there was a new page that I'm part of now. I forget what it's called, but I was really excited. It had something to do with the schools.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a positive page now, and I don't have to see. I mean, not that sometimes people's negative comments are not, I don't know how to say this exactly. Maybe there's some truth to it. But then I'm thinking to myself, but how are you becoming part of this solution? If you see this, then what are you doing to try to make it better?
Right.
And that's what I love about you, is that you see things and you're trying to make them better instead of getting on there with all the negativity. And and in no way doing anything, right? And that drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you think, if more people got involved, what do you think could change?
I think that if more people got involved, we would build a stronger community. Because I think when you are helping someone or you're involved with a certain project, you build a connection to that project and to the people involved. So if we do more of that, we become stronger as a whole instead of so disconnected at times.
Yeah, good point.
So what are we missing? What else is there that we haven't covered about volunteering or getting involved in your community? What else? You have the final word.
Oh gosh, I feel like we've covered a lot. There's a lot of opportunities. The hospital needs volunteers. You can volunteer there. I do that once a week, and it's not hard. I said hospice, the Reuse It Center, the Housing Coalition, all these different places could use you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when we first moved to McPherson, I had 2 little girls. And my mother told me, because I didn't know anybody, Carrie was working here, she said, if you want a friend, be a friend.
Right.
And so I took my little girls and we went to the Cedars. And we specifically asked for people who had no family. Nobody's coming to see them.
Yeah.
And then once a week we would go see like half a dozen folks. And, it put that in my daughters to give back. They both are very active in giving back to the community. But I think unless you're taught how to have compassion and how to care for somebody that's not part of your family, I think it's something that needs to be learned. And I think we need to show that to our community and to the people in our community. And like you said, it strengthens the community. It makes us stronger.
So wherever you live, just keep all these things in mind. Get
Yeah.
involved in your community. Be part of the solution.
Yeah.
That's what's going on across the country and even nationally, internationally. It's like people are out there complaining and saying all these things. Be part of the solution. Get involved. Go to the schools. Go to the hospitals. All the different things out there. It doesn't matter where you live.
Yeah.
Somebody needs volunteers to help with a specific project that is going to not only help people individually, but it's going to strengthen your community. And people are going to get more connected and care more deeply. And that's when we're going to really solve some stuff.
That's right. So this has been our episode of Housing for Good for this week. If you would be interested in being on our podcast, or you know somebody that would be a good guest, you can leave us a review at housingforgood@mcphersonhc.org.
And have a great day.